Hi friends, welcome to our first video on percentage. This video covers all the basic concepts of percentage as well as some of the more complex sums and concepts that will prove to be handy when you're preparing for your GRE, your GMAT, your CAT as well as your aptitude tests. So before we start with the sums of percentage, let us first understand what is percentage and where is it primarily used. So, percentage is nothing but a way or a measure of denoting a quantity in terms of a larger quantity. For example, if I bought 5 balloons out of 20 balloons, that means I bought 25% of the balloons. So this is how I calculated it. We have a fraction 5 by 20. Now to find percentage, we always multiply the fraction by 100. So this is 1s, 5s and 25%. So we found that out of the 20 balloons, I bought a small quantity of it which came out to be 25%. I hope this is clear. So let's see where percentage is actually used. Suppose if a friend of mine scores say 200 out of 400 in his term test, that means if we try to find out his percentage, we multiply this by 100 and we get equals to 50%. So the first friend scores 50%. Right. Now, let's calculate the second friend. So, the second friend, imagine if he scores 300 out of 1500. So, that means he has scored equals to 20%. So, the first friend was evaluated out of a total of 400 and the second friend out of 1500. So if we want to pick that which student is better with his scores, we need to find a common ground or a common base between them. So percentage helps to find a common ground between two dissimilar quantities to find out which one is better or to make a direct comparison. So I hope you are clear with percentage and its application. So let's see a few fractions and a few tricks that will come handy when we solve sums further. So next we learn how to convert fractions into equivalent percentages and vice versa. Here we are given a list of fractions and their percentage equivalents. So let's take the first fraction. We have the base fraction equal to half. So to find its percentage equivalent, if you notice from the previous slide, we multiply the fraction by 100. I'll work it down here. We have the fraction as half and we have to multiply it by 100 to find its percentage equivalent, which is nothing but equal to 50%. Similarly, all these fractions are found by multiplying the fraction. I beg your pardon, all these percentages are found by multiplying the fraction by 100. For let's take another example. Let's solve this fraction. If we want to find the fraction or the percentage equivalent of 1 by 5, we multiply it by 100 and what we get is 20%. Similarly, if we are given a percentage value and we are supposed to find its fraction value, we just divide it by 100. That is, if we are given 33.33%, we divide the value by 100 and what we get is equal to 1 by 3. So basically this percentage sign is equal to 100. So whenever you see a percentage sign, divide the number by 100. I hope this is clear to you. So let's move on to the first example. We have 10 is what percent of 50. Now for these kind of sums, we use a simple approach. We convert the numbers, or we convert the English part of the question into its equivalent math form. And once we do that, we get an equation which will be very easy to solve, and it will be only mathematics then. So we have 10 is in its number form. So we write 10 is. This means and is equal to in mathematical form. So 10 is what percent? What indicates the term that we have to find. So we denote it by x. Right. So 10 is what percent? Percent is always equal to 100. So whenever you see percent, you divide the previous term by 100. So we have 10 is x percent. So x, we write it as x by 100 of. In mathematical form, of is always a multiplication. So 10 is equal to x by 100 into 50. So this is equal to, this is 1za, 2za. So x is equal to 20%. I hope this is clear to you. So next we have increase 100 by 10%. Now to increase a value by some percent, we first find the percent form of the value. That is, here we find 10% of 100. So let's write what we have to find. We have to find what is 10% of 100. So now we'll use the approach that we used for the previous question. That is converting the words into its mathematical equivalent equation. So what is equals to x and is, we write, is equal to 10%. So that is 10 by 100 of. This means a multiplication. So into 100. So we get x equals to 10. Now 10% of 100 is equal to 10. But we have to increase 100 by 10%. So the new value will be equal to 100 plus 10% of 100. This is equal to 100 plus 10, which is equal to 110. Now similarly, if instead of increase we had decrease in the question, the first part of it would remain the same. That is, we find 10% of 100 to be equal to 10. However, here we have to decrease the term by 10% of itself. So we write the new value is equal to 100 minus 10% of it. The minus sign is for the decrease in the question, which is equal to 90. So I hope this is clear, and we'll have a quick recap of it to make it more clear. So we have increase 100 by 10%. So we find 10% of the value and add it to the base value so that it is increased by 10%. Similarly, if we have to decrease the value, we subtract 10% from the base value, that is 100, to find the new value. So moving on to the next question. If x is reduced by 30%, the resulting number is 63. What is the value of x? So let's analyze the question and solve it part by part. So firstly, let's solve this part. If x is reduced by 30%. So now if we assume the value of x to be equal to 100, reducing it by 30% will be equal to 100 minus 30% of 100. That is equal to 100 minus 30 by 100 because of the percentage sign into 100. This is equal to 70. Now, when x is reduced by 30%, the answer is equal to 70. But in the question, it is clearly given that the answer or the resulting number is 63. Therefore, when we assume the number to be equal to 100, our answer is equal to 70. But ideally, the resulting number is 63. So what is the original value of x? Now this is simple cross multiplication, and the value of x is equal to 100 into 63 by 70. That is equal to, this is 9s are 7 10s are equals 90. Now to verify the answer, we put the value of x in the question. If 90 is reduced by 30%, that is 90 minus 30% of 90 will be equal to 27, which will give us 63. So our calculation is 100% correct. So next up, we see a formula that will help us solve and find out the percent increase. Now percent increase and percent decrease problems are very common when you give exams like your GRE and your aptitude tests. So let's begin with it. A percent increase is given by increase upon original into 100. Let's better understand the formula using this example. If a pen's cost was $5, which is now increased to $6, then what is the percent increase in the cost of pen? Now, the pen's cost originally was $5, right? And this has increased to $6. That means it is increased by $1. So then what is the percent increase in the cost of pen? So the increase here is equal to $1. That is 6 minus 5 upon the original value, that is 5 into 100. This is equal to 20%. So the percent increase of the cost of pen was equal to 20%. I hope this is clear. Similarly, there is a formula for percent decrease. The percent decrease is given by decrease upon original into 100. Now let's see this example. If the cost of a pair of shoes was $100, which was reduced to $80, then what is the percent decrease in the cost of the same pair of shoes? So how do we first find decrease? So decrease is equal to 100, that was the original price, minus 80, that was the reduced price. So the decrease is equal to 20. Now putting this value in the formula, we have the percent decrease is equal to 20 upon the original value, that is 100, into 100 for percentage. This is equal to 20%. So the decrease or the percent decrease in the pair of shoes was equal to 20%. Now as we solve more problems on percent decrease and percent increase, the formula and the concept will get clearer. So I hope the formula is clear to you now. So guys, that brings us to the end of our first video. I hope you liked the video and I hope it proved to be helpful for you. there are few more videos on percentage that you need to see, and that will help you strengthen your concept of percentage. If you have any queries, any doubts, just write into us at learnersgarage@gmail.com, and we will ensure that we get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/learnersgarage. You can contact us through our email, through Facebook, and we will make sure that all your doubts are cleared. Don't forget to like our video, comment below it, and to subscribe to our channel for more such videos on percentage and other quant topics. Also, lastly, suggest our channel to all your friends so that we can reach out to a wider audience and help them score amazing marks in their GRE, their GMAT, their CAT, as well as their entrance tests. So I hope you like our video. Thanks for watching.